I'm a good dad, partially, all right? Partially. Other than that, sometimes it's like, oh, Lord, I'm so sorry, all right? Man, I find myself just saying and doing the dumbest thing. I was at the dinner table and my boys getting on my nerves, taking forever to eat. I said, John, sit down and eat your face. My wife was just like, John's like, weirdest things you do as a dad. And in our house, the quote is, oh, they all right. We do it based upon cries. If it's a scream, it's like, we need to go check on them. If it's like, ah, it's like, they all right. They all right, they all right. Funniest things, man. And I tell you what, man, I've learned this. God is really patient with us because from dating to having babies, you see there is just, all y'all was babies up in here once, believe it or not, just boo-boo, diapers, wipes. He said I came out like this and he was eating that gummy. Alright? All y'all was babies once. It's interesting. I found out this. When they're babies, it's cute. You kiss their feet. Up on their little toe. Oh my God. Oh, you get the cute little baby. You get old feet are just nasty. Get that thing away from me. How come your heel is ashy like that? Get that away. Your pinky toe is longer than your big toe. Get it away. Just go to the lady. Get it. Minnie, just why are your feet talking to me? How did your feet just tie your own shoe? And it's cute. It's like, oh, baby, little stinky, just, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. You know, even when it's bad, I mean, even if you hit the diaper, it's like, oh, you all right, right? It's just, whatever the case, man. When they get older, you're like, yo, you need to go down to the gas station and do that. It's how you've been drinking QT coffee. You need some help. You need to go on a fast. QT coffee. I got coffee from a gas station once, spilled it on accident, it fell on the carpet and floated. No playing, it got up and was like, you gonna still drink me? Drinking coffee from the gas station is instant high blood pressure. Instant high blood pressure. I got the shivers. And then you see those people that drink coffee black, hot. They don't even blow with it. Pour it out. How you doing? I'm good. I'm just concerned about your mouth. I'm concerned about your stomach. You ever drink something hot on accident? Tumble like a carpet all day. I'm gonna get my comeback. I'm gonna come up here and make y'all laugh, I promise. That's funny. That is funny. Nowadays, I'm seeing young people drink coffee. My son was like, Dad, can I get a Frappuccino? I was like, son, you're 9, you need some milk. A Frappuccino, boy, you would run around the world drinking a Frappuccino. See a kid drinking some coffee with his legs crossed. I'm like, you are like 6. What are you doing? Yeah, we do everything parents do. You remember when you used to want to sleep in your parents' bed all the time? Maybe you still do. I was in my mom's bed until I was like 17. She was like, boy, get out of my bed. Get out! And we just want to do whatever our parents just tell us to do. We don't care. We will make excuses to stay in that bed. It's just so comfortable. Your mom and dad I just do it. I don't even care. I just love you so much. I just want to be in your bed. My mom rolled over, true story, rolled over and was like, and I had my eyes closed and just white like, pow! Mom, what you doing? She knocked out. Trying to explain that to her in the morning. She's like, see, told you. Get out of my room. About to wrap some stuff over here. You guys ever get a serious whooping? Like the ones that you don't forget, the ones you brag about. Yeah, see, it's like crazy, right? And parents got this thing, and I learned this as a parent now. I just administer all sorts of whoopings around my house. I do. They're like, how did Dad's hand come through the wall? Oh my goodness. That's not even funny no more. Dad is a secret agent, alright? And you know, those whoopings you brag about with your friends? Oh man, I got one way worse. My mama let me out of the house. She said 10 seconds. Let me out of the house. I felt the rope around my neck. She ran out there, tied me up. I was like, got it. Yeah, right, man. My daddy pushed me off the roof into some spiked bushes, took me off and rolled me down a slip and slide, threw me off the back of the backboard, nothing but that. You always got the one friend like, my mom just shot me. She did. She did. And parents used to say things like, I do this what?
Because I love you.
Just don't love me so much. And this is going to hurt me more than... Why ain't you crying? Why ain't you crying? Because it did not hurt me when I whooped my kids, I promise. I'm like, look, I'm so sick of preaching. When you're threatening around this house, you just get it. Just how did dad's hand come from the garage? And dad at work right now. Funny. Comedy is really cool. I come from a place in comedy where I've done it for several years, and the interesting thing about comedy is that comedy is kind of like, comedy can be a cop-out, or comedy can be a healing. It really can. You know, you show up to a class and you know you got that stain on your shirt, and you make fun of me before anybody else do, so they don't have to laugh at you. You make fun of different things that are crazy about you so you can do it. And you know, I worked stages with people that would get up there and crack jokes and their life would be busted. And I did that. You would get high, you would get loaded up before you went on stage just to crack the joke, and you sacrifice so much of your soul, you compromise so much of your soul doing that. And it was all for the sake of a laugh. And really, when it was all said and done, the only person that got the glory was Satan. And you know, it was cool, people hitting you, Batman, good show, man, you funny, man, you funny. But when it was all said and done, you really hated what you did. And it's weird when you hate the gift God gives you. You know, and so I had to realize I had to take the back seat and learn to give God my dream. And I had to learn how to start dreaming again according to God's word. And so there was a healing process in which I went through. One, I gave up alcohol. And I had been using alcohol since I was probably about 7. And I sobered up about 22. I gave it all up. And a second thing that I had to deal with was the ability to, or the need to want to be accepted. I had to realize I was totally accepted by God, and that I didn't need an approval to get up there and begin to make somebody laugh. You know, I didn't have to be the stereotype to make someone laugh. You know, so for me, comedy was self-medication, but I was medicating all the wrong things, and I gotta get going, guys. But I was medicating all the wrong things, and you know, my the way I was, which I was medicating with was alcohol, one. But I was dealing with the things that guys struggle with, and I was dealing with things like sexuality. I was dealing with things like, of course, you know, alcohol and that need to want to be accepted. So I ran with anybody that wanted to accept me. It seemed like, and it seemed like I could not find no identity. And so even when I got on stage and I was J.Roach, it was like I was whoever they wanted me to be. And I got so lost in that. And I remember waking up one morning, after the comedy show and then having some really poor relationships that night before. I remember getting in the mirror and saying, man, I hate you. And I remember those 3 words. I remember looking in the mirror, have to wash my face, and just saying, I hate you. I remember that. I remember that moment. It was so distinct. And, you know, I'm out there speaking and sharing and all that kind of stuff. And what you see, and amongst the generation we live in, is you see a lot of that. You see that need to be accepted, that desire to be accepted. You see people self-medicating. You see people doing the things that, doing so much to cover up what, if it was exposed, it would help somebody. I want to tell you one more thing, I promise. I was sitting in the kitchen, I was peeling this orange. My daughter walks in, you hear her little diaper walking the dog. She slides down the steps on her stomach. She comes in there, her hair's just turned off to the side. She's just an adorable girl. She comes to me and she goes, all right, and I pick her up and we just chill, not a word. And they're doing some homework. And I'm eating this orange and she's looking at my mouth like, brother, all right? I give it to her and she goes, and she just smacking, just coming down her lips. She got daddy lip too, just wet, just everywhere. I'm looking at her, I'm like, man, this orange look good, girl. And the orange wasn't even that great. We sat there and it was so quiet and we were just eating this orange. And then I remember I went to go put it down. And she looked at me like, what are you doing? And I picked it back up, we finished this orange. It was the best orange ever. And I realized this, that young girl is going to ultimately grow up and do exactly what she wants to do. and she's my baby now. She will always be. She's going to grow up and make her own decision, do exactly what she wants to do. And I can't actually change her. But what I can do, begin to do now as a father is sow certain things into her. One of the reasons I share that story is because that conversation was awesome, and I didn't even have to say nothing. And my only thing to you all is tonight, have a fruitful conversation with God. Have an orange with God. If not that, have one with your folks. One of the reasons why I remember I lived a life wanting acceptance is because I was hating where I was at, and I just wanted somebody that would need me because I felt so used up. And we had that orange with my mom, and I walked away from the things she taught me, and I had to have some of those conversations with her again. Here's the thing, I'm promising done. If you got a right or wrong tonight, have that orange conversation with your parents. If there's a confession, if there's something in secret that you got to share with your parents, do it. Because I realized I maxed stuff up so long that it kept me from doing what was right and what was real. And I want to encourage you to do that. And then tonight, I also just want to encourage you to have that fruitful conversation with your father. And there's not even much you got to say because he already knows. He already knows. Sit in the arms and the lap of your father. Right? Meditate on his holy word tonight and have that conversation with him. Thanks, you guys. It's been wonderful making you all laugh.